Good morning again, y'all. I made it out. Another day. Another day, another walk. Another goose. Let's see if I can show you the goose. The geese. Hope they don't attack me because, hey, they're like in their habitat. See all those geese? Did y'all see them? I hope you saw them because I don't know how to flip this around. I'll figure that out another day. But oh, here it goes. Check it out. Okay, now let's look at the geese. They're just like doing their thing in the morning. I get to pass by these geese every morning when I'm walking. Every morning. And then sometimes it's a little dim out here. I don't know if I can get any more light. But yeah, anyway, they're doing their thing, so I'm going to do my thing, which is walking. And they're not going to bother me. Thank you, geese. I appreciate it. So I've got a theme. Something came in my mind. The geese actually gave me like a reason to talk about. I'm going to use them like as a metaphor for what I'm thinking this morning, thinking today. So, you know, sometimes I see the geese and they're like, yesterday when I was out, they were flying. They were flying overhead because, you know, they fly. They have the ability to fly as well as, you know, anyway, they can fly. You know, they have migratory patterns, all that. But the biggest thing is that they can fly. Flying is essential, actually, to their life, to their survival, because they have migratory patterns they have to follow in order to, you know, survive. So, what does that have to do? What do geese have to do with the protests that are going on right now? So I'm thinking about this Langston Hughes poem. Now that we've got all these protests and the Black Lives Matter movement, Langston Hughes wrote a poem back in the 1920s. And it was dreams. He did a lot on dreams, but this one was what happens to a dream deferred. Some of y'all might have heard of that. And at one part in the poem he says, does it explode? No, does it sag like a heavy load? Or does it explode? And then there's another one where he says, dreams are like, without dreams, life is like a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Just like the geese. You know, if their wings were clipped or broken, they wouldn't be able to survive. They wouldn't be able to follow their migratory patterns. They wouldn't be able to, you know, to travel. All the things that are associated with them having wings and the ability to fly. So, Langston Hughes' other poem says, like I said, what happens to a dream deferred? So, does it sag like a heavy load, or does it explode? And I'm thinking with these protests, it is really the latter, the explosion part of a dream. You see, when these protests break out, one part of it is people go in, they start looting. They start breaking into these stores. And I think the reason for that is that it's just a lot of pent-up emotions that really have not as much to do with the incident that happened. But I think people are just like fed up. They're fed up with these. I mean, one in San Francisco, they tore down, broke into a Target. Well, everybody needs to shop. They broke into a Target, and I mean, it was just like, I saw pictures. It was like just piles of glass. They went in, took down everything. It was just horrible. Again, another like a Mercedes-Benz place. Well, some of these people feel they're left out of this. They can't ever get a Mercedes-Benz, so what does it mean to them? They're going to destroy everything that they can't afford, or that is not a reality, can't become a reality, a dream that can't become a reality. So it leads to looting, which really has nothing to do with the incident. So a lot of these protests, and I know a lot of people are out for, the Black Lives Matter movement. They really care that we have changes. But mixed into that, you've got people who have dreams that have been deferred. Woo, look at the traffic this morning. I got lots of traffic. It's peaceful till you get a lot of traffic coming along. But it's all cool. So, I'm working on this piece right now because if y'all don't know, I'm a writer too. I'm writing an article on whether protests are really effective or not. Because very often they represent a mishmash of people's emotions. And when they all fade away, when the dust settles, what really has been accomplished? Like in the Eric Garner case, what really got accomplished? The grand jury, they wanted these people the police to get jail terms. They were freed. The protest didn't help. So it really comes down to addressing the deferred dreams of many people, African Americans, women, Latinos, everybody but upper middle class white people probably. You've got people with dreams deferred. Latinos are also, there's a high rate of police killings. You don't hear that in the mainstream media because, I don't know, the mainstream media has its selective areas that it likes to report on, and Latinos, people experiencing homelessness, are bullied all the time. I mean, they're attacked. I was just blessed. I was never physically attacked. I was blessed that, I got a lot of judgment and people looking at me and making remarks, but, I was been fortunate not to be physically attacked. I was always able to stay in my car, or when I did sleep on the streets, it was only like 3 nights. I was able to hide away in places that people didn't know where I was, but people are right out on the streets. Hey, homelessness is no joke. There are people out there who are right in the midst of people, and you see people right in the midst of people, they're easy targets. So we talk about when the cork comes off, of any of these bottled up emotions, we don't know where they're going to go. Right now, just because people experiencing homelessness aren't out protesting, is because the cork is still on. The cork is still on. Protests are more or less just like the cork coming off. Now, what they do, the advantage of protests is that they bring attention to these areas, such as dreams being deferred. And when I say dreams deferred, you've got, for example, an African American child in a poorly performing school district, and that child, I think, for some reason, astronauts have been on my mind this week. That child wants to be an astronaut. Sorry. That child wants to be an astronaut. What classes are available? What field trips are available? What exposure to her dreams does she have? So now we're talking about a dream deferred. We're talking about, again, bottled up emotions. And since I deal with people who are experiencing homelessness like I was, I see kids on the street all the time trying to get into college. There's this one kid had a sign up. I'm trying to get into Full Sail University. Foster kids. Do you know how many dreams they have had to put aside because of the way society goes? So society is not black and white. It really isn't. We like to think of it as black and white, as, you know, a black person dies because of a chokehold. We're choking off society. We're choking off the dreams of many, many people in this world. It's not just when that knee is on the neck, but it's a horrific example of how we're all being choked off, how so many segments of America are being choked off. Life has its knee. Society, the powers that be, have their knee in the neck of many segments of society. So I hope this is a wake-up call, if nothing else. I don't know what the police or what the judge or the court verdict is going to be. That really isn't as important right now as people realizing that, you know, we need to get out in our own communities. We need to get out in our own communities and work towards that kid in the school who wants to be, that little girl in the school that wants to be an astronaut. That homeless youth who is on the street who can't get into the university because there are no opportunities. Come on. These dreams that are being deferred are going to result in long-term results. And we're going to see them come out in terms of protests, in terms of mental instability. And that's a whole other thing too. People who have mental instability are often attacked by police. You know, let's look at the whole picture. We have to look at the whole picture in order to fix the problem, because we're all interconnected. All right, so I talked a long time this morning, but I'm happy I can just talk about my ideas, because this is what I'm thinking anyway when I'm walking. Sometimes these things are all going through my mind, so now I get a chance to sort of verbalize all those things, talk to them out loud, share them. Hopefully you all have some ideas too. Share your thoughts. But yeah, another day, another pound, a quarter pound, I hope. 8th, 16th, somewhere. I'll get there. All right, peace to everyone today. And remember, life is like life without dreams is like a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Okay, I didn't wax poetic, but I got the point across. All right, talk to you soon. Peace. This has been Lit. This is actually brought to you from As the Third World in North America Turns. That's my channel, and I'm proud of it. So I'll talk to you soon. Peace out.